Today's video is about 6 ways you can build wealth with e-commerce. I got 3 tips for short-term money making. Short-term, I mean 3 months to 1 year, and I got 3 tips for long-term wealth building, and long-term, I mean 1 to 5 years, which is still so quick, depend on the money that you're going to make along the way. And you'll see as we go along that your business will grow with each tip, so that hopefully when one day you reach number 1, you're on a pair with other big e-commerce players. And guys, you don't need a lot of capital to start this business, but as we progress along, you need to take what you make and invest it back to the business, because that's how you grow. I'm going to list how much I think each one will cost, so you know which one works best for you. So I'm going to include startup cost, hours you need to put in, and how much you can do with it in a month. Now, the truth is, it's all going to take work. Like, nothing comes easy, guys. It will be slow at first, but you have to be ready for it when it explodes, because as you know in my own story, guys, I started from nothing, and like one day I did $1,000 a day, and the rest is history. Let's start with the short-term tips, because everyone wants to get rich quick, right? Once you're choosing a unique product niche, which is so important, guys, because the jewelry, fitness, pet and baby industry is like most profitable one, I believe, because a lot of people spend a lot of money on them, but it's the most saturated one as well. You need to choose a niche that gets to a very certain group of people. The different and the odd thing you may not buy sell better because there are somebody else that are interested in that product, and that's how you find the unsaturated product or a niche. Okay, so you need to choose a niche that gets to a very certain group of people, and as I said in my previous videos, guys, you don't need to relate to everybody in order to make it to 6 figures, and this is a method that I always use. The different and the odd things that you may not buy is maybe interested to somebody else, and that's like how you find the unsaturated product or unsaturated niche, because it's nobody thinking about them. Say, okay, that audience is so small, or I'm not going to buy them. And I always ask you like to not look at the product if you're interested in it. Look at the product if somebody else may be interested in it, somebody maybe in your family or friends or relatives or whatever that is. Like maybe that person buys, or maybe you can find or solve a small problem in the specific niche. Guys, trust me, if you do this, you will make a lot of money. I could actually do a whole video on how to choose a niche, because like I believe that's very important, especially when you're a beginner, like to choose a very good niche to start and have a success from the beginning. And there's a lot to consider there. So if you need any help with that, just let me know down below in the comments, and I'll line that up in the content calendar. A lot of people start with the Shopify Dropshipping, which was like basically what I did at the beginning as well, which is fine, and that's the end goal eventually. But when you're a beginner, you don't have that much of a budget, and I believe Shopify have a 14-day free trial. But there is another option that called WooCommerce. WooCommerce is basically same as Shopify, guys, but like everything is like much cheaper there. Like I urge you like to test it and try it, and this isn't like any promotional stuff. I really tried it and I really like it, and one of my stores basically at the moment is in WooCommerce. WooCommerce, like you pay less fee, everything is free, like you don't pay any monthly fee. And yeah, guys, and you can like design more, you can be more creative with the store, and yeah, all that good stuff. Setting up a good Shopify store, it can take like up to 1 week if you are a beginner, and like for me it took like 4 to 5 days to set everything right, the pages, the description, the pictures. And guys, I cannot stress it enough, like the copywriting, the spelling, the images, they have to be perfect. If one of them like is missing, the spelling is missing, or there's a picture that is not good quality, it's going to be hard for you to sell, because human minds work as like the copyright that you write, not like everyone is going to write like to each one of them, but the pictures you put in your website, that's going to make a big difference, because human eyes works like a scanner. So when you go on the website, I believe like you're not going to read all the description, you just go scroll around with your eyes, like take a look at everything like in a like split second or something like that. And the like most things that you see is the images, because they are big and you know they're just taking every place in the page. If the pictures is low quality, it's going to be hard for the customer to trust you, or it's going to be hard for you to sell. It also has to be SEO optimized, and guys, please do not sleep on this, because like SEO is very important and basically free if you have a knowledge. If you do your research and like due diligence in the YouTube or Google or whatever that is, search for the keywords or just learn how to do SEO. It's like free marketing, you know, free traffic and stuff. So please don't miss on that, like don't sleep on it. At the beginning, when I did not have any budget, like only at $100 or something like that, I was like very focused on SEO to like how to get the free traffic, how to get a couple of sales so I can start with Facebook ads or even influencer marketing. AliExpress was the best option to buy product maybe back in 2050 or something like that, but at the moment they are not so reliable. They have long shipping times, especially with COVID-19, guys. So if you want your page get shut down on Facebook and get restricted, please don't use AliExpress. What I recommend you to use instead is either CJ Dropshipping or S-Pocket. Both platforms are very good. They have like faster shipping times, lower cost, and like better service. And Facebook ads. This is where you are going to need to bring your A game in terms of marketing. It's really cheap, guys, if you know what you're doing. And I know some of you guys are going to say my CPMs are very high, my CPC is very high. Yet that will be true in the case of that you don't know how to target or you're in a saturated country. But in the method that I teach you in my YouTube channel, which is like find a good country for the product and just sell it there, instead of finding a product for US or UK or other countries, just find the country that passes that product and you can sell it there very good. But in the method that I teach, I just basically tell you that you always have to micro target and choose the country and only advertise on that one country. If you do that, you can basically make your $100 into $500 to $600 with 5 ROAS daily, guys. And I got a whole video on Facebook ads where I made like $70,000 in only 10 days, guys, with the same method I'm talking about in this video or my previous videos. So please, if you want to, you can check that out. I'm going to link that down below in the description. I've got a video on Facebook ads where I basically make like $70,000 in only 10 days, and like with the same method I'm teaching you in this video, or have done it in previous videos. And with another proof, I'm going to just now show you my ads manager in another brand that I have been running for 5 to 6 days. Okay guys, so as you can see here, we are here in my ads manager. As you can see here, in the past 3 days I have spent around 6,000 euros to get back 33,000 euros with the average of 5.3 ROAS. And like this is the same method I teach you guys. I always like micro target my ads, and you can see in here, I'm going to refresh the screen for you so you can see, yeah, this is all true. Yes, and as you can see here, I have 14 campaigns selected, but if I remove this is going to disappear. That's because I'm running some value-based audiences and I'm optimizing for value. So when you do that, everything is not going to show up here, like the numbers. You have to like select them manually to see how they are doing. So let's see this breakdown: startup cost, potential returns, and hour you need to put in. So guys, with the startup cost, I recommend you to start with Facebook a minimum of $100, which was like what I did at the beginning, and thankfully, fortunately, I got good results with it, and that gave me like more courage to continue. The potential returns, guys, can be like how much you want to be. Like, I'm not going to like say, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money at the beginning, but when you start to lose money, you get like start to think more, and you will be like more experienced with tries and errors, testing this, testing that. But the most important things in Facebook ads is creative, guys. Like I have told you this like 2,000 times, but with a good creative, basically we can scale a product to multiple 6 figures, guys. Like it's like that easy. And basically it's just talking about the like 2 ROAS to 4 ROAS. So if you have a product that you have like average of 2 ROAS, you can take that to 4 with testing pixel data and videos, and basically just be smart about retargeting, SMS, and all that good stuff. And the last one is hour you need to put in, and that's really depend on your strategy. You're using mostly ABO or CBO. Me myself, I almost use like mostly CBOs, yeah, but in testing already I use ABOs, so everything will be optimized. But like I take like every day like around 1 to 2 hours, like look at my ads, look at creatives, which one should I turn off, which one should turn on, which one should duplicate, or if there is any restrictions, or ad account blocks or PM restrictions, all that headaches, guys. WooCommerce is great for small businesses and for people who are just starting out. But when you start to scale, Shopify is your guy. And I know there are some people who say,
why not just do everything at the beginning with Shopify, and do that?
But as I said in the beginning of the video, Shopify is more expensive and WooCommerce is basically both free. Maybe WooCommerce can be a little bit complicated because there are more like videos on YouTube that explain how to make a Shopify store, Shopify, not a WooCommerce, but basically it's all the same. If you get hang of it, you can make a new website like complete beginner in basically like 1 to 2 days. Honestly, if you have the money to start with the Instagram influencer with your product niche, that would be awesome because the audience have such a trust in them. So if they advertise your product on their Facebook feed, Instagram feed, or YouTube video, their audience will probably buy from you. And either way, you break even or lose money is both win-win situation for you, because you're going to get that audience on Facebook pixel and you can retarget them later. Or even though you're not maybe profitable with the retargeting, that's just free brand awareness for you if you look at it in the long term. Micro-influencer, people with 10,000 to 100,000 followers or subscribers, will charge you around $100 to $1,000, and of course that depends on what country the influencer is from and if that country is saturated. But influencers in US are much more expensive and like saturated audience, because they've been like selling everything. Especially when you're a macro-influencer, you just take every deal that you get, so maybe their followers don't trust them that much. But in such as like influencers in Sweden or Norway, they're so unsaturated and their followers trust them, because they don't usually do that much of the posts or like, you know, promotions. So that's really very good. And the prices can go up from $500 to $5,000, but I know that's a lot of money. But guys, listen to me, it only takes for you one post to make that $4,000, $5,000 sweet profit. But with all that said, you have to still be careful with what influencer you talk to or make a contract with. Use InfluenceBuy to track their engagement rate and see how many other brands the influencer have worked with or currently are working with. So based on that, you can make your decision, because if the influencers are promoting a lot of brands now or did like before and the engagement rate is like below 3%, that wouldn't be a good choice, because your audience are basically saturated and like they're not basically engaging with the influencer, or there is no trust there, because influencers have been just like trying to capitalize on their audiences and people don't trust them anymore. Personally, I really recommend influencer marketing, because when you know what you're doing, you can basically turn $1,000 to $5,000 to $6,000. And it's like, it's not really like Facebook, because Facebook is kind of headache, page restrictions, ad account blocks, PM restrictions, especially now when Q4 is very close. I hear that everybody is getting shut down if you don't have a good setup. So that's basically what happens, and Facebook try basically remove everybody to give the ad space to the people that really spend money. But with influencer marketing, like it can be a little bit slower and it's not consistent as Facebook, but if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money. The US is the biggest market by far for dropshipping stores, and the Obello actually has a really cool article about dropshipping numbers in different countries. You can see the US stands head and shoulder above the other countries, and after that we have United Kingdom, Australia and Canada. But those markets are saturated as well, as you all know here. And the reason behind that is like everybody is advertising on those countries, because those countries are the most buyers. But that doesn't really mean that you're going to be most profitable in those countries, or you're going to make it to the six figures in those countries. When you do it in those countries are basically oversaturated and the advertising costs are very high, and such as the more competition that you have. So here are some emerging markets that you can tap into, and I know that this is going to sound strange and you're going to be surprised, but here we go. Scandinavia. Yes guys, Scandinavia. That's like, this is what I've been talking about throughout my whole channel, like trying to tell you guys that this is a market you want to tap into at 2021 and the beginning of 2022, and this is the most profitable countries that you're going to make a lot of money in. And these countries are Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway. And as you know, I'm living in Sweden. Here is like very cold and dark most of the time, and most people are like committing suicide here. But like, all jokes aside guys, Sweden have like totally of 21 million people combined, but I know that's not a lot of people, but they have spending power and they're like have a lot of money here. And basically guys, in Sweden everything is so expensive, and basically when you get your product from AliExpress, CJ Dropshipping, S-Bucket or all of those platforms for cheap cost, you can just 5x the product price here, because the product in this country is already 10x. So when you're selling them for 5x, people are just going to come to you and you have basically 5x your margin. So for example, you know, in my past videos I showed you a product that I sell, like I get for $5 to $6, I was selling it for like $49, $50, and you know how much that profit that is. And basically this method have been able me to achieve 7 figures in like 7 months just doing dropshipping. Once you have enough experience in the industry, you can share your things from your perspective. And even though there are lots of courses out there at the moment and everyone has a very different experience, now this is going to take some time for you in order to make this course, because courses have to be very valuable and like people have to be able to use this on the daily basis, and I know this is very hard. And like actually myself, I don't really believe in courses, because especially in e-commerce, when you're doing like e-commerce Facebook ads, Shopify Dropshipping, or whatever that is, like e-commerce space, guys, is changing rapidly at the moment. You can see like how like exponentially e-commerce businesses have growth like since 2015. You can see on Google Trends that it's just spiking up, and after COVID-19 it have been doubled, you know. So every information that we put out there on the courses on e-commerce is going to be relevant in 5 to 6 months if that person that is selling that course is not going to update that. So I really don't believe in courses, but I don't disagree on it either. I believe that it's going to help you on some kind of level, but courses is not what's going to help you to make it to 6 to 7 figures. I believe you can like make a couple of thousand with the courses, but that's not going to help you very much, because like data is going to be expired, you know, and Facebook is changing rapidly, like rules are changing, restrictions, you know, Shopify, the markets that you can advertise on. So for example, if I do a course at the moment, like that course is going to be relevant in 1 year if I don't update and like keep you guys updated. But most of the gurus out there just want to sell a course and just make a thousand of money, and in the result of that you can see some gurus that like they've been on YouTube or in 2016 or 17, they don't exist anymore, because they don't their audience don't trust them anymore, because all they did just was selling a course and selling a dream to their audience, which I'm really against. But at the moment we are in an e-learning space and this industry is growing rapidly. So if you can make a course in any niche or any industry that can help people, I really recommend you to do it, because if you do it right with the right audience, you can make a lot of money. Okay guys, now we're at number 2, which is investment. We are going to the long-term wealth building now, and I say wealth building because this is not just about having a lot of money in your bank account. You can spend that money in a few weeks of partying if you're not careful enough, even if it's in the millions. Wealth building is something that you can pass on to the next generation. Now, you should be investing as soon as you make some kind of money. Even if you make a little of money through dropshipping, you have to reinvest your money into that business. But as soon as you make like little bit of money that like you can play with, besides like if that doesn't hurt your business to scale it up, you can invest in. And that's what I did, guys. Like after I made it to 6 figures with dropshipping, I started my own e-commerce brand. You know, I turned it into e-commerce, and the money that was left, I turned it all into investments, cryptos, and etc. that I'm going to talk on this video. And when you have a good amount of money, you should put it into short-term and long-term investments, such as high-yield saving accounts, dividend stock funds, S&P 500, and my favorite, cryptocurrency. Because as you all guys know, like cryptocurrency is going crazy. Like I did some nasty profit on Shiba coin, guys, like meme Dogecoin. Like, I don't know what that is even. I just bought it like 5-6 months ago. I thought it was funny, and like I saw some FOMO about it, so I was like, what the hell, just put it into like some amount of money. I'm not going to say how much, because I'm not here to flex, guys, but like that's a disgusting amount of money. And number 1 is properties. So should you buy one expensive place that you live in, or 2 medium price places that you live in one of them and rent the other one? If you want the status and the fame, choose option 1. But if you want the long-term wealth building, choose option 2. Saving a good amount of money before buying a property is very important, because when you do that, you will be able to put more into the deposit. And when you do that, you will not end up like giving all your money to those banking interest rates. This is going to take more time, and you have to jump through some hoops. You know, it's going to be ups and downs, so it's going to be hard at the beginning, and it's going to be a lot of paperwork for the first time beginner, but this should be your ultimate investment. You rent it out and use the payment to pay off the property and have another stream of income. And so yeah guys, this is basically it. This is like what you should do ultimately when you make some kind of money. That's it guys, 6 ways to build wealth with e-commerce. So you start with dropshipping with AliExpress or CJ dropshipping and Facebook marketing. The next stage will be you scale the Shopify, eBay, and influencer marketing. And after that, you will expand by the method that I have been teaching you guys throughout my video, like YouTube channel, all of the videos that I've made. Basically like expanding to the other countries such as Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, like all Iceland, like all of these countries are basically untapped by the method that I've been talking about. You expand like that, and then you build wealth with courses, investment, and property. And all it starts with your first dropshipping store. So go find your niche, go make your store, and go make some money, because this is Q4 and we are all here to make that profit, guys. And the last week's giveaway winner is Justin. So mate, all you have to do is just message me on Instagram in order for me to confirm that it's you, and I can give you the store and the ad credit and all that good stuff. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please smash that like button and comment down below what do you think. And I know, sorry for missing last week's upload. I was traveling, guys. I was very busy with my store and Q4 and every setup, but I promised you I will not miss this week's video. And I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.